Top of the morning to you, good afternoon, good evening to you, depending on when you'll be watching this session. Welcome to the newspaper review right here at Prime Media TV. I am Ayo, bringing you the newspaper review. And with me here today is going to be a big roundtable conversation on a whole lot of things happening in the country right now. And as you can see, I'm with the men of Prime Media TV. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ayo. How are you doing today?
I'm very well. You're looking really good today.
Yeah, I think we'll give you confidence, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you're welcome to the show. I hope you're ready for what we are ready for today. All right, so we have quite a number of headlines to be reviewed with you today. We're starting first with the story of minimum wage. As you all know, FG has invited Labour to assume talk on Friday. Then we'll move on to the conversation on Afenifere faulting Tinubu on economic policies and other stories trending around the world. But before we go into all that we have for you today, let's go on a quick break. And when we get back, we'll go into the show. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the show. Now, let's see the first story. FG invites Labour for conversation on the minimum wage. Very quickly, let's see the story. The federal government has again extended an invitation to organized labor for the continuation of minimum wage negotiations, a source familiar with the matter told our correspondent in Abuja on Wednesday. The source noted that Labour would honor the invitation. I quote, "A letter has been addressed to Labour by the committee chairman and signed by the NSIWC chairman. The meeting is scheduled for Friday. Of course, Labour will attend. If they present a better offer on Friday, we will accept it." End of quote. So this is a conversation. As we all know, there has been quite a number of deliberation on what this minimum wage is all about. And once again, probably the federal government has considered the threat of Labour for their protest on the 31st of May, which is scheduled for tomorrow. Then this may be the main reason why Labour, the federal government is reaching out to Labour to come and have this conversation with them. So I would like to start with you. I would like to hear your thought on Labour. What do you think will be the likely outcome of this meeting with the federal government?
Okay, thank you, Ayo. I believe Labour, they have plans, okay, and the way it's looking at, it's like they want to drive this home because, of course, Labour, they are supposed to fight for the average citizens. That's what they're supposed to fight for, especially the workers. And when you look at the government policies for some time now, you discover that it has really not, it wasn't good enough because there are taxes everywhere, increase of from fair price to other aspect that's really been affecting workers all over the place. Now, if you look at what Labour has come up with, you discover that even there's some things I looked at and I said, no, even this one is not going to work. Because you look at feeding 9,000 for family of 6 in a day, it's not going to work. Because we look at the major breakfast, the supplements, what you need for breakfast. Look for bread right now that can, even that of 2,000, can even take care of 6 family. Number of 6. Look at the, was the popular, what's it called? Like Milo and all this kind of stuff. Right? If you look at it, okay, if each family will take one, you have 6, and each one of that meal right is about 250 naira, right? If you multiply that and look at the cost, you discover that that family will be consuming more than 3,500 for breakfast. What about lunch? If they're going to eat lunch, now 1,000, you can't even manage 1,000 for lunch, right? And maybe they eat 1,000 each. That's 6,000 naira for lunch alone. Plus initial 3,500. They're having 9,500. What's going to happen to dinner? Are they going to skip dinner? Let's assume that they pay the same thing they did in the afternoon for lunch, right? For dinner. They had almost 15,000, right? So labor on that, they've actually rated down below what a family of 6 should eat. Then looking at cost of transportation, we were using the Lekki for example. From here to Lekki, right, about 1,500. You spend like 3,000 a day to go to work and come back. Multiply that in a week, in a month, you discover that even what they're proposing is not going to work. So now, but in spite of all these, with federal government dealing that and still dragging it, adding 2,000, 3,000 to what they're talking about. What can even fit somebody or transport somebody to work? That's what federal government is insisting on. 60,000. That will not fly. So obviously, because when you look at what government is budgeting for its own, those in the top hierarchy, vehicle, millions of naira and all that, and you are dragging your foot to pay your workers. Those are working. The money you are spending, these are people that are bringing in the money. You are finding difficult to pay them something that can sustain them. You don't want to leave so you have money tomorrow to sustain yourself in your office tomorrow. You understand me? So I think the way it's going, if federal government doesn't listen, Labour will shift ground. Yes, I'm sure they will do that because people feel that what they have come up with, I think they're now 494,000. Okay, to be very fair, the state of the nation today, even that money can't even sustain average person. Youth, no talk of somebody that has family. The school fees is not there, right? I don't think the factor that went into this, so that cost. That can't even sustain it. And the government is still bringing in taxes. They're still increasing tax from every angle. Anyway, it's not surprising because there was a video that has been trending where he talked about it's going to widen the tax. Next, that has actually been happening. So if you're widening tax names, somebody has to earn money before they can pay tax, right? And so, well, that's what the Labour is saying. We don't care if you increase taxes on the but pay the workers what they need to pay their taxes.
All right. But you said something the other time that, before I come to you, you said something the other time that the 494,000 naira Labour is proposing is not visible enough. So are you indirectly saying that Labour should consider an increase in the amount they are proposing?
Okay, let's put it this way. Let's put it in this perspective. I was at the market the other day, okay? I know what I saw. You know, it's this 3 kg basket of tomatoes. Before now, 1.5 can easily buy it. Now it's 9,000 naira. 9,000. When you ask them why is this like this, they'll be telling you because of cost of transportation. And all this, the way they're buying is more, it's not like before anymore because these people, this farmer, they're buying fertilizer, they know a lot of stores and all that. They keep telling you all these things. When you listen to them, you won't have to rather than to just buy what you can afford and go and cook in that home. Now, before now, you can buy a kilo of chicken for like 1.3 maximum, right? But at the moment as we speak, it's about 4,000 of a kilo of chicken. A family of 6, that kilo won't be enough for a family of 6. So imagine you buy 4,000 of chicken, right? And cook soup that will last for 3 days. And after 3 days, it's finished. You have to look for maybe the same amount again within a week. Do you understand me? Look, let's say that tomato of 9,000, you buy 4,500. Then you buy that of that chicken, 4,000, 8,000 plus. I'm sure within a week, within 3 days, you're going to exhaust. If you manage it too much, within 3 days, you will exhaust that. You have to cook another one. Multiply that in a month. What federal government proposed can even sustain feeding alone. Not to talk about transportation, clothing, housing, and all that. The way these things are going up, the same way the price of house, rent, and other things are skyrocketing. Because this is not a rocket science. Because all these things, it's like water that is coming, you saw flood coming, you now block it without giving a source of a way out. It will pile up and overboard. That's what's going on. The market will increase. Automatically, there's no two ways about it. You can't, where I normally transport, like maybe when I go to the market and buy something, I'll transport would cost like maybe 5,000, right? You then increase to 10,000. Whatever I'm going to buy, I'm going to factor that money inside and sell according so I can make my gain and still go back to the market and buy and be able to sell tomorrow. It's as simple as that. So when you are doing all these things, increasing for the price of fuel, it's going to affect it. When dollar is not stable, it's going to affect everything in the market. And you're finding it difficult to pay the workers. Somebody said the workers can work for free, or so
No,
that
who would
money work
want
for
to
free.
do that? Nobody will want to do that. Then let me quickly go to Treasure. I would like to also hear your thoughts. He has said that the amount NLC is proposing is not visible, considering that the prices of things are quite on the high side. So, what would you have say that the fight for NLC should be in this meeting with the federal government tomorrow? Do you think they should still remain on their stand for 494,000? Or they should increase it, or the federal government should consider bringing down the prices of things? Let me hear your thoughts.
All right. I've always been saying this, that from all we can see under this administration, the amount the labor is clamoring for is not going to be achievable, because we know that from the way the federal government is just increasing by 3,000, as if they are bargaining for bread. There's no way or pepper. There's no way they are going to come down to accepting what Labour is proposing. And on the other hand, I've always been saying that Labour should equally consider the interests of the general masses, because they are called Labour. They are not to fight for those who working under the federal government level, state government. There are people who are not working. There are people into business. All right. And if their fight is for government workers alone, then what happened to Nigerians who are not working under federal government? What happened to these women selling ugu vegetables, selling yam in the market? Now, the federal government, on the other hand, I find it is quite shocking why they are finding it difficult to increase what they're paying their workers, knowing fully well that in the country currently there is insecurity, making farm difficult for people, making they know the constant cost of fuel, which has affected transportation of goods and services, which has affected the increase the amount the workers pay to office. So they know that this clamor is based on the current standard of living in the country. So why are they dragging their feet, in hearkening to the demand of labor? Now, looking at what this administration has been spending huge on, looking at some measures of projects that the millions and trillions, billions, they don't even, our government are not even spending, they don't mention millions, they mention billions and trillions that they invest in or channel into things that are not beneficial to the people, to the masses. If all these things can be channeled towards the well-being of the workers. Now, this is even their workers. Before we even go to the market women, to the people in business, they are finding it difficult to take care of their people. So now, what make us now think they will even consider initiative that will favor the masses? What we discover that in this administration, they are fast to implement things that has to favor the people in power. All this when it had to do with the House of Rep or House of the Assembly, all these people, when it has to do with things that will benefit them, that they will benefit from, it is very fast to pass it into law. But when it had to do with what will make them spend for the benefit of the masses, you see them dragging their feet.
But then let's also not forget the fact that, we are not talking about 100 workers here. If federal government is to consider what the NLC are proposing, 494,000 naira. We are not talking about 100 workers.
Okay.
We are not talking about 1,000 workers. We have countless people working at the federal level, at the state level, at the local government level. Now, if they are to consider this amount that NLC is proposing, do you know the amount of money that will go into only payment of salary alone? And we are looking at how we can, attract foreign investors. Don't you as well think, I would like to as well hear your thought. Let's see things from the perspective of the federal government. NLC should maybe for a while accept the 57,000 naira that NLC, the federal government is proposing to them, pending the time they venture this money into other sectors. Let's also see things from the perspective of the government.
The thing is that this country is highly blessed.
Okay.
All right? We have resources. A government that can sponsor, that billion for sponsorship of Hajj, a program that will last for just 6 days. You know, don't you pray in your house and God hear you? Must people be sponsored with a sum of 90 billion when we have education dilapidating in Nigeria? Workers clamoring for a good, crying for a good, to be able to feed their family, because as a matter of fact, the amount that labor is requesting for cannot even guarantee a good living. It can't guarantee a good living, because just imagine the amount they budgeted for food. Currently, you and I know that 9,000 cannot feed a family of 6. All right, so this country is blessed with resources. A country that has, you know, so if the resources in Nigeria is put to proper use and management, forget what is the amount they are clamoring for. Okay, do you know? Okay, now under this, you know, in this country, we've had cases of an individual, you know, looting in billions. If there is no money, where are they looting from? We have money in this nation. We have money in this country. So it is because this money is not put into proper use. That is why our politicians, our leaders, can see the one to loot. All right? So if looting is taken care of, is cut off, if our resources are being put to proper management, the people can be well taken care of. The workers can be paid.
All right.
You see, Ayo, yeah, I'd like to jump in because we're just chatting about this. Now, while we're discussing, just want to bring out something briefly so that we'll have I looked at transportation, right? It's just for one person. I'm looking at what NLS is saying, family of 6. Forget the family of 6. Talk about one person first, the worker that's working for the government. We have, for example, if you're going to Lekki from here, roughly 1,500. Coming back, 1,500.
And there's no certainty that you even get it at the same amount.
Yeah, it's not possible.
Because
at times when there's traffic, you tend to pay more.
Or rainfall,
which where we are right now. Now let's assume 3,000, right? 28 days. You've been having almost 84,000 for transportation alone.
For one person.
For one person. What government is even offering can't even pay for your transportation. They're offering 60,000 there, right? They can't even pay for your transportation. That's one. If you want to feed, you want to manage maybe 500 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon before you come, maybe it's 1.5. You'll be looking at 42,000 also. If you plus that, the rent, which is at the most basic, right? Going to work, coming back, and eating and having a place to stay to hide your head for the next day. We're looking at 16,000. Because the average house you can get a room safe is around that kind of 200,000. Let's assume this environment. Around 200,000. Then if you divide that in 12, you'll be having like 16,000 thereabout. So if you plus transportation, feeding, and accommodation for one person, you are having 166,000 naira. So the government is just fine because they're just joking. They don't want to discuss. I really hope the NS, if they continue, they should just walk out from that meeting tomorrow. Yes, because this is not, they should be talking from 200,000 and above. NSA didn't start this. They started it by increasing fuel price, by removing subsidy, and by increasing taxes from every angle to stiffen the people, to strengthen the people. You understand me? So you have started the beat. You have to dance with it. So NLC just won't help everybody. But because if they should start from maybe like from 200,000, the NSC is dragging. We cannot tell NSC, okay, fine, they have tried a bit. Let's come and meet at the middle ground. But there's no middle ground yet. I can tell you this might likely end in strike. Because I can't see any middle ground. 60,000 naira compared to 494,000. There should be. So I just use the layman. That's not family here, just one person. We are having 266,000. Tomorrow we'll hear from them, but I'm very sure that NSC they're on the right track.
Well, I would like that we reach a middle ground on this conversation, because from your part and from his part, I could get something that's even the 400,000 plus that NLC is proposing is not viable.
At all.
So,
not.
what then should be the way forward? What should be the fight for NLC tomorrow? What should be the outcome of this meeting tomorrow? Because obviously, even if the federal government, like you have rightly calculated, even if the federal government should reach a conclusion of 200,000 naira, it will still not be enough. An average person will not be able to save. An average person will not be able to reach out. You mentioned miscellaneous the other time. There are miscellaneous bills that you have to call you from home. You want to take care of this responsibility. You want to take care of that responsibility. This, even if they reach a 200,000 naira agreement, it is still
It's not
not
gonna work.
visible. So what then is the way forward?
Now, I want NS to insist, or whatever the issues, hold on there. Let federal government come with something reasonable, like 300,000.
Okay.
250K to 300,000.
But don't you
For the
think
minimum wage.
300,000 naira is going to further inflate the economy? Because the more you earn, the more you spend.
No. It's not going to inflate the economy.
Okay.
Because people that are working to survive. Do you want somebody to start resigning from work before you know that they are really in need, that they are suffering? You know, when some people don't have money, they become irrational. Yeah? You see, now, let me give you an example for Lagos State right now. Lagos State. Before now, when your car breaks down, boys will come out and help you to push the car, help you to sort it out. You know what's happening in Lagos State now? If your car's break down, they will ask you to pay money for you to repair your car. No, it's happening. Go try it. Put on double pointer, your hazard light, and see if maybe you have issues. They'll come and ask you to pay money before you can fix your car. They will not allow mechanic to work. And these are boys. You can't. There are plenty. There are many. You can't overpower them. You have to start negotiating. You have not fixed your car. You have not paid mechanic. You will sort those boys first. Plead with them, pay their demands before you can then call mechanic, come and fix your car and pay your mechanic before you can leave that door. Else they'll vandalize your car, they'll beat you up. You can't do anything about it. These are hungry boys. They are hungry because things has gone so bad. They are looking for every miss. Anywhere there is a turning point, maybe you want to try and maneuver some place and all that, they are there. Go to VGC area, they are there. If you want to turn that bridge right now, you will pay them before you can turn. And policemen are there. Sometimes they will constantly policemen, they will move away. Once the vehicle is leaving, they are back again. These are hungry people. Okay? The economy has gone that bad. You see, some of us that work close to the office, you won't feel the pain much. Those that work far, where the office is far from where they are living, they are really going through a whole lot. The country. It's not about you can't say, you can't even meet up to what you want to eat. The least food, everybody least food right now. The least food, the easiest food that is Indomie, noodles and what? Maybe the beverages, right? That's the easiest, the least food.
Sir,
that you can
on that, it's not even the least. It's not even the least because
how much is rubber of Gary? 3 kg of Gary right now.
Once more,
3,000 plus.
70 kg of noodles now is about 300.
Okay.
And that 70 kg, is it kg or what
people like you with like 3. But I'm satisfied, right?
You know, you mentioned 500 naira as the least amount anybody
For
can
example?
eat. There is nowhere you will get such amount for food. You can't enter any restaurant, even Mama Put.
They won't sell for you.
And get how will they sell it?
You can still get in some places.
Well, that would
It
be like
depends on it depends on where you choose.
Currently now, because they have to sell based on what they bought. There is okay. How will they sell when somebody bought a pint of Gary for about
4,000 naira?
4,000
But
naira?
even this Gary we are talking about, there are quite a number of factors affecting why Gary is expensive. Because you see that they are importing Gary from China now. Yeah. They are importing. Where are they getting it? From here. They are exporting our cassava out of the country.
We are making more money from there then.
Making more money from them. They import Gary from China now.
So on that, where's going to blame on that now? Is it the people that are exporting, or the government that grant them the right to export?
Of course. They are. I just quickly want to that quick clarification, but I would like to hear your final thought on this story. The expectation of NLC. What is your expectation? Very brief, and we move on to the next.
Well, I've said it before, and I will keep saying it that NLC should understand by now. They've been dragging this nuts today that the federal government is not going to dance to their tune. And again, I keep on saying that the NLC at this point shouldn't just. I see their clamor as self-centered because they are the body that is still supposed that has been established to fight for the general masses, both the people working and these people that are into business. All right. So on this note, just like you rightly said that it's likely going to end in strike and whatever. If NLC keep on removing 3K, you discover that the government will not take them serious. So on that, I want to say that the NLC should stand still. They should maintain their ground. As far as I'm concerned, the government at this point are not saying anything meaningful, because there is no.
They are not serious about it.
They are not. There's no balancing at all. 60K, not even 60K yet, 57 or whatever. So it's not even close to what is on top, or to what is on the 400K. So I don't mean they're even talking about 100 or 150 or 200. That is understandable. Even with that, we know that no one can cope based on the current economy. All right. But what he said, that they should just maintain their grants until these people come up with something meaningful.
All right. Let's move on to the next story. The Afenifere said to Tinubu to review his policies, which is making Nigerians even poorer. The Pan-Yoruba Socio-Political Organization, Afenifere, yesterday urged President Bola Tinubu to review his economic policies, noting that they have pauperized Nigerians. Afenifere, in a statement by its publicity secretary, Justice Faloye, urged President Tinubu to alleviate the worsening, to alleviate the suffering of Nigeria. According to them, the economy has experienced severe turbulence in the one-year administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, worsening the previous administration economic legacy. Afenifere hereby calls for a better understanding of the economy to stop the alarming rate of inflation, devaluation, increasing unemployment, homelessness, and poverty. So this is the conversation. I believe what the Afenifere are referring to, this government policy, is the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu renewed hope agenda, the 8-point agenda that he was emphasizing on, which covers economic growth, to tackle national insecurity and all of that. Now, still in alignment with the conversation on since we are still in the week for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu annual review of his tenure, I would like to start with Mr. Prosper to hear your thought on this renewed hope agenda. How do you think this renewed hope agenda has benefited Nigerians so far? What can you point at to say these are the things that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has achieved so far in the last 1 year?
To be very fair, I can't see anything meaningful. I'm just going to go in line of what Afenifere has said. Only what I've seen so far is just the Nigerians are getting poorer. Yes, when your expenditure increases and your source of income remains where it is, of course you're getting poorer. That's what the NLC is fighting for. Now, the fuel price subsidy was gone. The first statement of the president, and now the money that has been recovered from the subsidy, government has not explained to the citizens what they have used that money for. Yes. So, and if that money was spent on something that help Nigerians to maybe the vehicle transportation area has helped in that area, I would have said, okay, fine, there was something that helped. I remember then when Goodluck was about to do that in this time, he made buses available to help citizens, and that was frustrated. It was never used. Okay. Now, all the policy so far has been taxing the citizens from every angle. I have not heard about new job creation yet. The one that is made available for the university student was a loan. A loan is not loan. It means you have to pay back. How are you going to pay back? You've not even started work yet. Is there a guarantee for their work when they finish their school? That fine, okay, the batch, first class or second class, whatever they call, they have a job waiting for them, so that you have a means of recovering this loan you are giving them back. There's nothing like that yet. It's still the same as status quo. It's going to be the same thing. And they are paying through their nose to fuel their vehicle, their cars, their vehicles, the generator to to even maintain what they have. They're even trying to downside because the cost of sustaining their business is high. So how would then graduate and come and be able to get a job and be able to work? The people we have in Nigeria right now, everybody wants to leave the country. The Japa syndrome that they call it has increased. Every family, I'm telling you the truth. I have friends everywhere. They want to leave. They're looking for opportunities. Some people are learning. One guy came to me and said, I want to learn something because when I travel, I want to start using to work over there. As he's speaking, he has already processed his paper. He just will learn his skills. That when he gets there, we'll start working with that. Everybody wants to leave the country because this case has changed. So what I've heard is saying is it's evident everywhere. It's not like a rumor anymore. Now the tax net has actually been widened. Now the question is, all the money has been recouped from all these sectors, all these places. What has that money been spent on? The oil money, the sales of diesel here and what is it called, crude oil here and there. Where's the money going to? See, let's be very frank with ourselves. The country is a blessed country. From every aspect, we are blessed. With natural resources all over the place. Every seed you put in this soil grows to show how good the country is. Like, I watched a skit sometime ago. It's not a skit, it was a live interview of some of our people in diaspora. They were asking if we give such amount of money, will you come back to Nigeria? They were doing like this, lie. There's no amount of money you give to me that will be able to come back to Nigeria. They now ask them, why won't you go back to your country? We are giving you money to go and start life. Say, no. No matter how much you have, as long as you have a bad leader, that money will be useless. And that is exactly what's happening in this country. We have bad leaders. We have been blessed in every area, but we will not be blessed with good leaders. A good leader doesn't just seek his own, he seeks the good of the people he's leading, because the best of those people will prove that you are a good leader. What do we have right now? People are suffering, and you are being asked to increase the salary of people. You are proposing 60,000 naira that cannot even transport your staff to your work, to the work. Does that show that such person is a good leader? So the policy has been, maybe they are doing something, don't want to tell anybody, but you have to tell us. That's what you're a public servant. You have to tell people you are leading. This is what I'm doing. These are the policies. This is what I'm trying to do. Okay, I remove subsidy because I want to do this at so time. Then, even though we are suffering, we'll be looking forward to that thing you want to do that will stop the suffering. Okay, I remove subsidy because I want to use the money to build refinery or repair refinery, so that we don't need to take our oil outside the country to go and refine. We can refine it there, then the price of fuel can come back to 200 naira. If I hear that kind of thing, I'll say, sir, please go ahead and remove it. When will this happen? 2 years time, no problem. Remove it. We can manage within that time frame, so that I can start buying fuel at the cheaper rate. But there's nothing like that. So I want this country that promises is like nothing at all. It never happens. So yeah, they're not doing their best so far.
All right. So let me go to you, Treasurer. Do you as well think this policy is pauperizing the poor? I mean, we should consider that some of this money has been invested. We've been hearing about the CNG buses. They are working towards ensuring that we have a safe form of transportation, and this is part of his renewed hope for Nigerians. So, do you as well think these policies are becoming too difficult for Nigerians to bear?
All right, you see, the Afenifere is saying this. They are people who has beforehand, I could recall I meeting with some people, and they were earlier now during the 2023 election. We are happy that the Yoruba are leading Nigeria. At least it is our turn. This mindset. That was the mindset many people had before now. That I thank God at least it is Yoruba people's turn to lead the nation. Now, so I believe the Afenifere cannot just come out to make this prudential statement if they have not scrutinized it. All right, so I want to say that indeed and truly, you and I can attest to the fact that the policies are really making Nigeria poorer. Now, is it not, what else can you call your inability to buy things at the rate you used to buy them. What can we call the inability to survive? Initially with 3,000, with 5,000, you can make a very big pot of soup in this country under some administration. All right. So what can you say when the purchasing power of the people has been reduced? Everybody is crying. No longer, no one can be able to. Even the rich are crying now. So the policies are really sucking the people. Truly, the policies are impoverishing the nation because the people. Why most Mr. Prosper talked about the Japa syndrome. Go out there now. I don't think there is any office that is as busy as the embassy as we speak right now. Now these people, these youth that are leaving the country are youth with potentials, youth with that has one ability or the other that could be useful in transforming this nation. They want to go and use these skills where they will be duly rewarded. They want to go and use these skills that can be used in transforming Nigeria outside. All right. So now I believe the strength of a nation lies in the hands of the youths. What are the governments doing to ensuring the utilization of the abilities in our youths? You talked about, Mr. Prosper here talked about bad leadership. It is quite bad that even the bad leaders, they know themselves, because if you are good, you are good. They know that they are bad and they do not want to pave the way for good people. They lack the capacity, and that is why during election, you see these leaders, they want to retain power at all costs. Even when the people they are leading do not want them again, because they exercise that by voting, by their vote. They don't want to exercise, they don't want to retain you, and these people want to retain themselves at all costs. So they know that the people don't want them, but because they do not have the interest of the people, because they are not there to serve the people, they want to be there because of their selfish gain, and that is why they want to retain power by all means. So the Afenifere are very right, and that is why you see the clamor for the people are saying they want to go, they want the freedom, they want free nation and all that, because Nigeria, in as much as I think Nigeria has become too big for one person to lead. Nigeria has become too big for one person to lead. Because I want to believe that if there is split, just like some people are clamoring for, the people can now say, okay, let's see how we can tackle these things. A lot of things have been initiated by this administration, and the masses cannot come out. You cannot beat a child and ask the child not to cry. So if Nigeria is actually, homey, the people living in Nigeria should be the one to say, imagine those in diaspora saying they will never come back to Nigeria. So how then do you expect foreigners to come in here and invest? They are talking about bringing in foreign investors. How do you want them to come when the citizens out of the country are not willing to come back home? So the policies are indeed popularizing Nigerians.
All right, let's move on to the next story. First anniversary. FG plans supplementary budget, warns against foreign aid. Let's see the story in details. President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday said he would soon transmit the 2024 Supplementary Appropriation Bill to the National Assembly to enable his administration to continue in its task of providing good governance to Nigerians. He stated that the budget proposal aimed at fostering prosperity, development, and progress would fast-track the ongoing positive stride of the government. The president hinted this shortly after flagging off the old national anthem, Nigeria We Hail Thee, at a joint sitting of the Senate and the House of Representatives in Abuja. Okay, we should also not forget the fact that earlier this year in January, the 2024 budget was signed by the Senate, and we should also not forget that the proposed budget was 27 trillion naira. But on the long run, the budget that was signed by the president and the Senate is a total of 20 to a lot of chaos in the Senate House on the issue of 1.2 trillion naira budget padding. But again, once again, the federal government has come to say that they need a supplementary bill, probably because as at the time the planned that budget, dollar then was 800 naira, but now dollar is now 1,450 naira. So probably the reason for this additional budget is to cover up for the increase in the exchange rate. So I would like to hear your thoughts, Mr. Prosper. What do you think of the supplementary bill?
Does government have the right to have the capacity to manage to control dollar increase? It's a question. They have the capacity, right?
You do.
So it's like a father of the home, right? That gives the wife money, weekly money, right? To go and for the week. And the plan in this world, this money will be spent on. You're going to cook a pot of stew, you're going to cook a pot of soup, right? Then within the week, 3 days or 4 days into the week, and the wife comes back and said that the money wasn't enough. I'm sure the husband will ask her, okay, fine, but you didn't cook stew, you didn't cook soup, you didn't cook stew. How come? You are talking about supplementary budget, the one that was initially budgeted. What did we achieve with that one in the first place? What has been achieved with that one? You are asking for addition. You see, the truth is that the Nigerians were very quiet and we like dying in silence. Nobody wanted to speak. So if I speak, I don't know what will happen. We are afraid to die. Let me use that word. Nobody wanted to fight for the good of the people. And the government knows this very well. They are taking everybody for a ride. I know the truth. Because a lot of questions to be asked. Nobody's asking those questions. And because of that, the government are taking everybody for a ride. I don't see reason for this. Because the dollar, I know very well that it can be controlled. This can be managed. But some people are benefiting from this. They don't want it to be better. Because when the bad stay in Nigeria, when bad stay too long, people start enjoying from the bad, and the bad becomes a norm. The same thing with the boundary issues and here and there. It wasn't like that. The kidnapping case and ransom and all that, it wasn't like that in the first place. Because it stayed too long, these guys have become, they're enjoying the ransom they're collecting. They retain it and increase it. Then it becomes very difficult to stop now. Because those benefit from, they're also part of, also in the system, in the authority. The same thing, that's what's happening. People are enjoying this, and as long as they keep enjoying what is going on in the country, it's not going to stop anytime soon.
All right, but then we should not forget the fact that this administration has been able to clear the FX backlog that they inherited from the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, and part of the many achievements that we would say they've used the budget, the 2024 budgets, we can give it to them on the part of the student loan, we can give it to them on the part of the CNG buses, we can also give it to them on many other occasions.
I this time I hear about the words, I don't want to hear the word government is trying. Because the capacity, what we have, what is country, what we have, you can't have 1 billion at hand. You spend 1 million out of you are telling me you have done something. I will not listen to you. That's what is going on. We don't have, they are not managing what we have. They are squandering, they are spending a bit and claim they have done something. In the first place, nothing should be talked about student loan. We talked about it. That one should be pushed aside, okay? Backlog of what? Who created it? Are they not part of the system? It's not the same people that are working with the same government that were there before. How was it created in the first place? Even the loan, everything that is still on ground, that are borrowing and adding up and still claiming that based on the capacity to loan, that they have not exhausted what they are supposed to borrow. You hear that kind of statement, right? Okay, you plan to you borrow when you don't have. Then you have, you are mismanaging, you are borrowing. That's reckless. That's just a fact. So we expect the government to do better. They can do better. I remember those time during the Buhari's administration when he was on leave, he went for treatment, right? And within 3 days, the VP was in charge. We saw what happened within that 3 months. There was a drastic change within that 3 months. It shows that when our government, they are serious about these things, they can get it done. But it's unfortunate that nobody has been really showing a sign of seriousness.
All right. So, what do you think as well of the supplementary bill?
Supplementary bill. When I look at, when I heard about the supplementary, the intention for the supplementary bill, and what came to my mind is 28 trillion within 1 year. And Nigerians cannot come out. We are the people in the country cannot come out to say, yes, we have seen what they have done so far. You know, it's really bad that we, just like Mr. Prosper rightly said, they can't come out. They are not even coming out to tell us what have been done so far with the initial budget that has been just like you were trying to defend them. I don't know. You were trying to defend them that we can see this, we can see that. If they had things to show us, I believe May 29 was a good day for them to come out and tell us that they have done this, even if we are not seeing it. Maybe possibly they've done these things in locations that Nigerians are not dwelling in. So they can say, okay, we'll go to Sambisa. We built a factory there. Go to.
But truth be told, they planned cash transfer.
Now I want to say something. Okay. You know, you talked about.
No, not on the May 29. Talk about national identity as a change of achievement.
All right, now I'm coming to that later. Now, coming about the student loan. Now, I want to say that if you want to give out loan, normally the loan scheme is a good idea if the motive is right. Now, there are students who are into entrepreneur, that want to go into business. Okay, they can say, okay, they can go and get loan. What about people who don't have that intention? Now, are you trying to, this amount budgeted for loan? I think we checked it. They say 5,000, 5 million for 5,000, whatever, 10 million or something there about for 5,000 Nigerians. If you calculate 10 million by 5,000, is about 50 billion or something there about. This amount can be used for job creation. You can create a platform that can employ so that now what is the motivation for those that are in school? So many people, once they are in their 400 level, they are afraid. They are afraid of life after graduation. There is no provision by the government. If not for private sectors in Nigeria, what would have been the hope of Nigerian students? And what the government can come out is to further pauperize the people by giving them loan. The interest is not stated, and this loan they must pay back. So if they are talking about loan, I think they should equally include the interest rate so that anybody that is interested will know that like if you are going to take loan from bank, there are some banks that give loan on a 5% interest rate of 3%. So you know what is expected of you. So I see that these people, they are just in the business of taking. They are quick to take. All right, like as if they want to run away, because I see no reason. Everything is just on the rush.
And they keep taking.
Taxes everywhere. This taking system to enrich themselves. You see, I heard of a project they say from Ikoyi to Ekpe road. Is there no road already from Ikoyi to Ekpe? Why additional? Why do they want to give just to enrich some members of the house? And if you see the amount, if you hear of the amount that is being allocated for that project, Ikoyi to Ekpe, where they will have to demolish people's houses, where they will have to destroy and put people in pain just to achieve that project. All right. So this additional supplementary budget, I see it as one of the things our Mr. President said during the campaign, to take from the people.
All right. The only thing I see here is just that there is no accountability as to what this money will be used for. Understandable, as at the time the first budget was passed for 27 trillion naira, before we had an additional allocation of 1.2 trillion naira, which does not have an allocation yet. There is no accountability as to what exactly this money is used for. So it would have been better if they had come out to spell out what exactly, like Mr. Prosper rightly said, what exactly the previous budget was used for, how much is remaining, and what do they intend to do with this supplementary project. So I would like that we quickly wrap up on this conversation. So let's move on to the next story. Then we move on to our conversation on the new national anthem. Probably and the other stories we're going to take them. So let's wrap up with the new national anthem. Let's just brush through it. We all know yesterday it was announced that the national anthem, the old national anthem that was cancelled since 1975 is now back again. Nigeria will hail thee. Let me move to Mr. Prosper. What do you think of this new national anthem?
Well, I'm smiling because this shouldn't be coming at all at this time. This is not what is running right now. It's not what we need at this time. And now it's going to take a while for people to get used to it, to learn it again. I'm sure you and I will have to learn it also.
Exactly.
I doubt if I can recite it. Okay. Now, it's a form of distraction as far as I'm concerned. It's just going to take attention away from what is important. What is the hunger that is killing people? You understand me? What's the big deal about national anthem for now? The one that is there is not affecting anybody negatively. Is it affecting anybody negatively? We want to brand Nigeria. Somebody said, "Want to brand? They want to brand our airline first. Go to the airline now." And use them to showcase our stuff out there. That's why I tell. But if it's federal government, they can do anything. Yeah, they have done what they want to do, and it's gonna be like a scorecard. Okay, during maybe June 12th, it will be part of the rundown of what they have achieved, because there's no more to actually talk about. I said we want to come with something before then, so I'm just trying. I will try and learn it. I doubt if I'll be able to fast. You should try and learn it.
All right, let me hear your quick take on the new national anthem that we wrap up.
Okay, the new national anthem. You see, our government, they are rushing to show Nigeria what they have changed under their Renew Hope agenda. You see, there was a case. Was it not last year, or early this year, when one of the Nigeria official couldn't even recite the former national anthem? I don't know if you witnessed that in the gathering. And this is an anthem that have been in existence for years. They couldn't even recite. Now, what do we now say about this current one?
They sang it at the National Assembly.
Which one? Wait. The one that people were showing mouth and the mouth was going.
They did sing it. They did.
Okay, let's
it's quite funny. Now, this old one was not composed by Nigeria. So what happened to the one that was composed by us? Now, if there are things, since they are now interested in bringing back old things, why not start with bringing back the former price of fuel in Nigeria? We know where they met dollar when they assumed office. Why not bring it back?
Step by step. Maybe after this now they'll bring the fuel price
exactly.
back. After the fuel price, dollar will now come back.
Why not bring back the old system of governance in Nigeria? There is no power. At May 29, there was no light anywhere. I don't know if there was light in your own place, Mr. Prosper.
Over most now, I've not seen light.
So why not bring back these things? These things are things we enjoy.
Let's not forget that it is not the work of Mr. President to look at lights. We are going to question the Minister of Power on that.
Why not the government? Why not Mr. President? During the former administration, the president took over the position of Minister of Petroleum. Why are they not taking over the seat of a Minister of Power? Why are they all interested in petroleum?
All the president have been the Minister of Petroleum, former president, right? And also this current president. That slot hasn't been given to another person yet.
Yeah.
If they're actually interested in getting things done, they want to be minister of something. There's a minister of light, because light is a very serious issue in the country.
Minister of road. If the president is coming to Lagos State now, you see them blocking road, making movement difficult for people. Why don't you take over the Minister of Road and Road and Construction and all these things? So let them. I believe these people. Anyway, June 12th, I believe we'll find out. I will be looking at the amount. him, let me not say anything. But I
Oh,
think that is not the
all
next
right.
thing to be done now.
All right. My main
It's
national
like
anthem.
I have to really.
One, a line of it says, "Our flag is going to be our symbol of justice and truth." And the first thing that came to mind is the Lekki massacre. We add, there's this thing that when you are holding the flag
of
any nation, you should be respected. You should, you should respect the person. Nothing should happen to that person. But we had our youth holding that flag, and most of them were shot dead. So I want
Which
to
the
assume
claim wasn't that nobody was shot at.
Yeah,
Nobody died to
exactly.
dates, and,
So I want to
No,
assume
this-
that the reason why is bringing this back is to say that now these lyrics, we are going to stand by it. We are going to hold on to it. We are going to abide by it. There's also another line that says, "A nation where no man is oppressed." A nation where no man is oppressed.
I see everything you saying there. They are doing opposite. I heard the word.
We will be able to.
Because
We
this-
will be
because
able
this
to hold
line
them
for us
accountable.
Remember, I heard the word "do not suffocate the poor."
Wow.
Yeah.
But have the poor been suffocated in Nigeria? Yes.
Very well.
There's another one again I heard.
Let the poor breathe.
The poor are not breathing; they are dying.
Even the rich are equally.
It's not. Thank you. So there's not going to be. So if the rich can even breathe, how much more the poor?
How many car owners
You see,
can boldly go with their car
It's
to
so
work every day?
it's so evident in the sense that it's not hard to know. Just step outside now. Step outside. You will see people. So people are just walking, don't even know what to do next. I saw one guy this morning. He said he can't even cope with his job. He can't sustain him. Now even he's spending everything he's earning on transportation. He said, "I just have to stop." I said, "Okay, do you have what?" He said, "Nothing." He said, "At home." Imagine that person stay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. He will start thinking of something else so he can leave. Then what would that thing be? That is the situation we are in this country right now. People are being suffocated. People are dying.
And that is why you see the increment of crime in the nation.
A 3 kg of rice, right? That pentroba is 3 kg, right? It's 6,000 to 7,000 naira.
Depending on the type of rice. If we have,
they call it foreign rice. They look like foreign, but
no.
it's rice. Now, when you apportion that rice, I'm sure families can, if that can last them for 1 week, if they want to eat rice, maybe continuous base, right? So multiply that you might be eating like 3 or 4 roba in a month. What the federal government is proposing, can they buy rice for the family? Not to buy tomato and some other things. So indeed, let's face the fact. Are they waiting until people troop out to the streets? And if that happen again, they will be able to control it. I can assure you. They will be able to control it. We saw what happened during NSAS. What was the fight then? That police were oppressing people. This now is about hunger. Human being can do anything when it comes to what we want to eat something.
Hungry man
is an angry man. So if they fail to listen to labor and this continue, labor accidentally call for protests, national protests. I doubt if labor can ever control it.
What the people currently are actually waiting for is someone to make the move. Because as it stands now, Nigerians
are waiting for someone to make the move. And labor makes that move. Forget it.
All right. On this note, this is all that we can take on this segment of Newspaper Review. I am Ayo, but before we leave the studio, we'd like that you follow us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, we're Prime Media TV. On Instagram and TikTok, we're Prime Media Studios. On the website, where you are currently watching us, we're enginespeak.com. And you can do also follow us on YouTube at Engine Speak. I am Ayo. Until I come your way again, do have a great day.